Hi, I'm Mr. Clix, and this is Mr. Clix Flix. Today we're going to do individual character reviews of my common pulls from my venues Fear Itself Month 1. Every month we're going to do a review of any figures that I pull for my Fear Itself event until we either get all the figures reviewed or the event has run its course. Like I said, in this video we're just doing the commons. I'm going to put up a second video where it has all my uncommons and rares. I'm just trying to keep it in small, easy to digest chunks. Each figure is going to get 2 ratings from 1 to 5 stars, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. 1 rating is going to be for sealed, the other rating is going to be for constructed. When I say constructed, I mean 300 points, which is what's used for pretty much all competitive like worlds and national tournaments. So we're going to start with number 1 in the set, Thule Society Priest. He's 21 points. He has the Minion of Doom team ability. He starts with a 7 movement with stealth, 9 attack with a special, 16 defense, and 1 damage. The special on his attack is Relic Guardian, and it reads, if a character attempts a relic roll while adjacent to a friendly character named Thule Society Priest, modify the relic roll by +1 if not already increased by this effect. If a character attempts a relic roll while adjacent to an opposing character named Thule Society Priest, modify the relic roll by -1 if not already decreased by this effect. So that means that no matter how many Thule Society Priests you're adjacent to, whether they're opposing or friendly, it can only ever be plus or -1. It can't be +3 or -3. This guy's 3 clicks long, and my favorite click on him is click number 3, where he has a 5 movement with stealth, 7 attack with a special, 14 defense, and a 0 damage, but he has probability control. Overall, I'm not really impressed with this guy. His best click is his 3rd click, so if I was ever to use him on a team, I would immediately push him to his 3rd click. At my venue, when you play him in sealed, you're not allowed to play anything that you didn't pull from your booster, so really his relic power is going to be nothing for you. And when you play him in constructed, he's not really going to be helpful because this is the age of resource dials, and those are a permanent thing that you don't need to roll for at all. Now, if you want to use them with a theme, with the hammers, and you're going to use him with the Book of the Skulls, again, he's kind of useless because when you're using the Book of the Skulls, it's an automatic pickup for the hammers anyway. The only way I would ever use him is if I needed 21 points worth of filler and didn't have anything else that I thought would be better suited. So in sealed, for Fear Itself, I'm giving him a 2 out of 5 stars, just because, like I said, he's just a filler. There's no really abusable team abilities for him to copy. He's not going to help you with your relic rolls because you're not going to be allowed to play a relic by itself, or at least not at my venue. And any figure where you play him with the intent of pushing him to his last click is not a good thing. In constructed, I'm giving him a 1 star out of 5. There's just so many other things you can do with 21 points that you're going to get a lot more mileage out of. As mastermind fodder, he's going to get KO'd in 1 click. And like I said before, unless you're planning on running a relic team just for fun, he's not really useful because most teams are just going to use a resource in competitive play. The next figure we're going to review is number 3 in the set, Monkey King. He starts off with an 11 movement with a special, 10 attack with Quake, 17 defense with combat reflexes, and 2 damage. The special on his movement is called Eagle Form, and it states Monkey King has the wing symbol or the flight ability, and he's 45 points. Overall, I really like him in sealed. There's not a lot of range in Fear Itself, so that 17 up close is really going to be a 19 defense, which even if you have 11 or 12 attack, is going to be hard to hit. Less than a 50% chance, or right about a 50% chance. He's 6 clicks long, and the flight ability really helps him because it makes it so that he can carry your other figures, because there's not too much battle fury in this set. So he's able to carry your other Fear Itself figures into battle and just be back there for a third tier attacker. My favorite click to get him to after I place all my figures with him and his flight ability is his click number 3, where he has a 9 movement, 10 attack with Blades, Claws, Fangs, 16 defense with Toughness, and a 2 damage with Shape Change. This click won me a match against a Colossus. I got 2 lucky rolls in a row. My first lucky roll was on my opponent's turn when I Shape Change, and then whenever I attacked his Colossus, I rolled a 6 on my Blades to KO him. So he's really good. His combat statistics stay pretty even his whole dial. He dips down to an 8 on his last click, but it's his last click, and for 45 points, you know, what do you want? You got mostly 10s and 9s with a 19 defense. So I rated him for Fear Itself Sealed a 5 out of 5. He's almost a must-play when you pull him. He's a great tie-up piece. He keeps your team very mobile, pretty pushable. He's just a great figure overall. For Constructed, I rated him a 3 out of 5, just because his defense is only 17, and whenever you're not in sealed for Fear Itself, you're going to run into a lot more outwit, so you're going to be able to outwit his combat reflexes or attack him at range. So he's really going to be getting hit a lot, and only 6 clicks isn't really going to help him out that much, but he is going to be able to help you keep some figures mobile with that flight ability, and like I said, he is pushable. So 3 out of 5 stars for Constructed. Good tertiary attacker if you need him. Next figure I have is number 5 in the set, Valkyrie. She's 130 points. She has a trait. She starts with a 10 attack charge, or 10 movement with charge, 11 attack with a special, 17 defense toughness, and 3 damage with leadership. Her trait is at the side of the slain. Whenever a character is KO'd, after action resolves, you may place Valkyrie in a square that character occupied. Now, remember, whenever it says whenever a character, it doesn't mention whether it's opposing or friendly. So, any character on the field gets KO'd, you may place her immediately in that square that character occupied. So, she can be really mobile in the right context. And her special on her attack is called Fearless. When Valkyrie uses she can use Blade, Claws, Fangs, and Flurry. So what that means is that you can charge for 5 squares, then you can use Flurry, which is 2 attacks, plus you can use Blades, Claws, Fangs. So if you have a lucky roll, you're going to be able to hit an opposing character for 12 clicks of damage if your rolls are right. Her combat values stay pretty consistent, staying at a 17 and right around a 10 attack. She does dip down to a 9 real fast, but she has steel energy. And then she has an upswing late dial to where she gets an 18 defense with an 11 attack with her special and still has charge. She's just a really good figure in Fear Itself Sealed. She can do a lot of damage really fast. She's really offensive oriented. For me, she'd get 2 or 3 really solid hits in, and then she'd be KO'd because everybody knew how much of an offensive powerhouse she was, so she was priority number 1. There wasn't a match that I played in my month 1 that she made it the whole way through, but she definitely earned her points, which are 130. In Sealed, I would give her 4 stars out of 5, just because she starts off with a 17 defense, which I'm not really a fan of, especially with all those 11 and 12 attacks. You only need to roll a 6 or a 7 to hit. And also she lacks indomitability, so you're going to have to push her a lot, and that's not really something you want to do with this figure. So I gave her, like I said, a 4 out of 5 stars. And in Constructed, I'm giving her 3 out of 5 stars. You could build a team around her, but with a 17 starting defense, no indomitability, and at 130 points, she's almost half your build. She's more than a third of your build. So you're really she's gonna have to be your main attacker, and you're gonna have to give her a lot of support. And she doesn't have range, and in high level competition, range is king. You could throw on the utility belt to give her indomitability and make her that much better, but everybody gets better with the utility belt. So 3 out of 5 stars in constructed for Valkyrie. The next figure we have to review is number 6 in the set, common red SheHulk. She has a trait. She starts off with a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with a special, 17 defense with invulnerability, and she's also sporting indomitability, and 4 damage. She comes in at 119 points. Her trait is called Triggered Regeneration. It's after clearing tokens at the end of your turn. If red SheHulk has 2 action tokens, heal her of 1 damage. So every 3rd turn you should be healing her 1 click, which is pretty good to keep her in the fight and keep her healthy. And her special on her attack is called Stronger Than Jennifer. That's referencing the regular SheHulk. It says red SheHulk can use super strength when using an object during the attack. Increase the damage dealt by 1. Now it's important that it says increase the damage dealt by 1, so that means that it's not subject to the rule of 3. It's not modified by +1. So in theory, under the right conditions, with her 4 damage already, she should be able to do an extra 4 damage for 8 damage, and she might even be able to do it 2 turns in a row. So that's an awful lot of output. Her combat values stay pretty consistent. Gains toughness later on in the dial, and her last click has an 18 defense, which is a little more like what I like, but her attack drops to a 10 with super strength, and she also loses quite a bit in the speed department with a 6 movement with leap climb, but she does have 5 damage. In constructed, I would rate her 4 stars out of 5. She has really great combat value. She has indomitability. She doesn't come in at too many points. 119 points is quite a few, but not too many. And her trait, Triggered Regen, should keep her in the fight for a pretty long time. In constructed, I also gave her a 4 out of 5 star rating. She has Indom. She's a great tie-up piece. Great close combat fighter. Triggered Regen should keep her in the fight for a pretty long time. And at her point cost, she leaves you a lot of extra points for a ranged combat attacker, so that she can hold somebody down while your ranged combat attack figure attacks from a distance, and you still have some room for some support. The next figure we're going to talk about is Common Iron Fist. He comes in at 80 points. He's number 7 in the set. He has improved movement. He has a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack, 17 defense with a special, and 3 damage with a special. His improved movement, he ignores elevated terrain, hindering terrain, and other characters. His special on his defense is called Immortal Weapon of Agamotto, and it states Iron Fist can use combat reflexes and super senses. It's a really good combo. I've always wanted a Spider-Man that has that one, and don't know why I haven't gotten one, but it fits Iron Fist really well. And his special on his damage is the Iron Fist, and it states Iron Fist can use Close Combat Expert when he does and has no action tokens. If his attack total is at least 2 greater than his target's defense value, modify his damage value by an additional +1. So what that means is that if you attack an opposing character with Iron Fist, who has, let's say, a 17 defense, and you need a 6 to hit, but you roll an 8, and you're using Close Combat Expert, That means that since you're 2 or more above their defense value, you actually get to hit them for your +2 for close combat expert plus an additional +1. So you're able to do 6 clicks of damage from an 80-point figure on one turn. That's just phenomenal. He gets late dial his last 2 clicks. He gets regeneration. And if you hit his first regeneration click on Clix 6, you're actually able to get him all the way back up to click number 2, which is still a good click. 8 movement with charge, 11 attack, 16 with his special defense, and 2 damage with his special special defense and special damage. For sealed, I'm giving him a 4 out of 5 star rating. For 80 points, he's an excellent tie-up piece. There's not a lot of outwit in this set, so more often than not, you're going to get both of his specials. And in constructed, I also gave him a 4 out of 4. He's less than a third of your build, so you still have plenty of points to build around him. He's a very competent and capable secondary attacker. There is more outwit in constructed, but he has 2 different, both of his specials on most of his clicks. So they're going to have to pick, do they want him to be harder to hit or do they want to take less damage? So overall, just a phenomenal figure. So nice to see one after the one from Secret Invasion. The last figure we're going to do today is Titana. She comes in at 105 points, and she's number 8 in the set. She has a trait. She has a 9 movement with charge, 10 attack, 17 defense with invulnerability, and she also has indomitability, and she has a 4 damage. Her trait is, prove I'm the strongest woman or man there is. Titana can use super strength. Titana modifies her attack value by +2 when attacking a character that can use super strength. So she has a conditional 12 attack on that top click if you're attacking somebody else with super strength. Now the thing with her is her first click's not too bad, but after you get off that click, she gets a 16 defense and it just does not get better. She has 3 clicks of a 16 defense, then a 15 defense for 3 clicks, and then she's KO'd. And in a set where everybody has 11 or 12 attack, a 15 or 16 defense just isn't going to cut it. At 105 points, that's way too much. I couldn't see fielding her unless you absolutely didn't pull anybody else. Just that abysmal defense. She's going to get hit by everybody and their mom. I'm giving her, for sealed, 2 stars out of 5. She doesn't have anything. It's nice that she has indom, but as soon as she's off that first click, she's dead in the water. And in constructed, I'm giving her a 1 out of 5 stars. There's so many better figures for 100 points that do more things. I see what they were trying to do. They just didn't pull it off. Her defensive values are just too low. So that's all I have for you today in this video. Be sure to check back when I'll post another video with my uncommon and rare pulls. Until then, may all your impervious rolls be a 5 or 6. Bye-bye.